Happy Emiya Shirou Day. Today we're counting down the top 10 Shirou's in celebration. Now, you might be asking, Sleepy, haven't you done this already? Shut up. Number 10. Emiya Shirou. Now, before you come at me, consider the following. You live out your whole life chasing a dream. Something you've seen all your life is worth cultivating and striving for no matter the cost. It didn't go to plan. You didn't end up where you wanted to. Damn it, you gave it all you had. You made something. No one can take that away. It not working out exactly as you planned sticks with you in those twilight years. It's a stain, and it bleeds through and makes you wonder if any of it was worth it. Do you, 1, reconcile that though you didn't achieve the heights you aspired to, you lived a life sticking to your gumption and come to realize that that is inherently worth something? Or do you, 2, try and kill your past self because failure isn't an option and things didn't go exactly to plan? This guy chose the second option, and that is some bum-ass behavior. Now, sure, he came around at the end of his story, deciding to go into the ether unfettered by past mistakes, but you can't deny that Archer's whole mantra for 90% of the time he's on screen is can't do the impossible, can't see the invisible, row, row, give in to power. That's how losers think. Number 9. Emiya Shirou. Ignoring that questionable design, this guy only places higher because the backstory fans concocted is undeniably cool as fuck. A Shirou who, in contrast to Archer's giving up and wanting to burn it all down, actually went way too far in the opposite direction, adhering to those ideals of his so much that he made his mind a steel cage, not letting any emotion out or in. A Shirou who would go so far as to murk his own friends and lover, a la what we get to see in the Mind of Steel Bad-In and Heaven's Feel. Once the Shirou gets into the servant summoning pool, he's too far gone and can barely recall anything from his life. An utterly broken individual who, through his experiences, gets remade into something new. A very obvious visual metaphor we can see through his final ascension art in FGO. He's held together with gold in the same way a broken vase is remade and stitched back together in some Japanese ritual I can't remember the name of, but his design is directly based on. That's cool, but most of it is fanon. His real backstory is some shit with Kiara that I never really cared to learn about because it sounded way lamer than what I came up with in my head. Vibes trump whatever is actually written in the story when it comes to the Nasuverse. If you start taking this stuff seriously and power scaling, you're only gonna have a worse time. Can Shiki kill servants, for instance? According to various sources, no. But in my heart of hearts, yes. That's all that matters, baby. Number 8. Emiya Shirou. Everyone likes this guy. He's got that FGO utility as the only good art saber, and his animations do go hard. He's even got the personality of a grumpy old man, which contrasts the rest of the Shirou's quite well. Even if this guy isn't really a Shirou because of that. That, and him being a pivotal character to the narrative of FGO years after I mentally checked out from it, means that he can't score any higher. If you thought this was an unbiased list, you are sadly mistaken. If I ever did a top 5 Kirays or something, Rasputin would be at the bottom of the list for similar reasons. Pseudo-servants are lame, man. If you want the characters in the story, just put them in the story. Number 7. Emiya Shirou. Not the Oath Under Snow one, but the one who lives a peaceful life in the Illyaverse of Prillia. This Shirou is rarely in the manga, especially for the past few years, aka like 5 chapters, but what we have seen of him is chill. This is what Shirou would be like with a loving family, and I think that's pretty neat. He still has his ideals, but he furthers them in non-borderline suicidal ways, which is cool to do, actually. He's also the only Shirou who's a confirmed pedophile, so he scores points for that. Number 6. Emiya Shirou. Now this is Archer with sauce. A Shirou who, though having had very similar experience to the aforementioned Stay Night Archer, stuck true to his guns and now exists within the counterforce as a servant summoned to the digital Holy Grail War. Nameless, as he's called, has one of the best depictions of a Sege no Mikata we've seen. Someone who's completed that journey and now helps his unwitting masters along their path. The mentor role this guy takes on in Extra really is something you have to experience if you haven't. He's still got that dry wit, those snappy remarks, but underneath those sardonic glares is a caring, mother-like figure. Unlike the Stay Night Bum, this Archer isn't flanderized to the nines with an FGO appearance either. Now, I know you might think that these two are the same character, but if you look closely, you'll see that they actually are in two totally distinct art styles. One has class, the other is ass. Enough said. Number 5. Emiya Shirou. This is the only portrayal of Shirou in English not voiced by Kirito. For that alone, I am thankful. I'm not even saying I hate Kirito's voice or character. I have this big-ass SEO box set because I love the series. Alicization in Mother's Rosario changed my mindset. But Bryce Papenbrook can only do one voice, and it doesn't work for Shirou. This dude is a teen who uses swords, yes, but he's also scarred mentally and had to grow up a lot faster than others around him. Having his voice be a little gruffer, less glib, more straight to the point a la the Japanese seiyuu does wonders for getting that across. I don't even think Dean Shirou's English VA does that bang up of a job, but I'll be damned, it's nice not hearing Kirito for once. Anyways, other notable things about this Shirou is that he's the only one who went through a BDSM filler arc. Man, it's a real shame they never made that anime original movie. Number 4. Emiya Shirou. So this one doesn't really count as Shirou, more an Illya than a Shirou, but there is still a Shirou in the story, so we'll just say it's him. He's not really important. This entry exists to tell you all to read Sword Dancers. It's a doujinshi by Himura Kiseki, and it's literally the best Fate thing out there. It only has like 5 chapters and hasn't been updated in over a decade, but it's so fucking good. It takes place in this alternate world where Archerko, an Illyified version of Archer, is summoned as Ren's servant in the HGW, and a lot of hijinks ensue. The first chapter is fun Carnival Phantasm adjacent hijinks, but the ensuing ones get into some killer lore and fight scenes. No spoilers, I just need more people to read this so they feel the pain I do in knowing it'll never get another chapter. I don't know what hurts worse, that or knowing that Red Garden's never gonna come out. Number 3. Emiya Shirou. This Shirou is the only one to be best buds with my boy Tono, and the hijinks they get up to during that one episode of CP really got me going. I shouldn't abbreviate that anymore, I think. This version of Shirou shows that sometimes flanderized portrayals are good, actually. He's a real soft boy, overly righteous to a fault. He tries to keep everyone happy and doesn't think about how it comes across to other people. I'm gonna use this spot to plug the other SOL portrayal of Shirou as well because I think they're similar enough. Emiya Gohan Shirou, the best Fate spinoff IMO. In this series, Shirou pursues his real goal in life, cooking delicious meals with friends. A true savant, you know? Number 2. Emiya Shirou. This is the Shirou. I know I've lost the plot a couple of times throughout this video, but this really is the ultimate Shirou. I'm not doing what losers do and splitting them up by route. This Shirou is one person. The routes in Fate Stay Night simply show you how he could develop in different ways. They all ask different things of him. To live by his ideals, to fight for them, and to know when to cast them aside for the good of himself and his loved ones. All actions Shirou can take in the story, and all of which are valid conclusions. What can I say that hasn't been said before? He is the hero of justice. He is him. But he doesn't even come close to our number 1 pick. Now, I know what you're asking. We've already covered every version of Shirou and then some. I've had to ass pull for some of these. Who could possibly be left? And to that, I raise you our dark horse candidate and number 1. Emiya Shirou from that one gender bend doujin I read where everyone's mean to her except Illya and Sakura, who love Shirou regardless of who she is. That shit was beautiful and way better than anything that crackpot Nasu's ever written up. Heaven's Failure truly did change my life. Please go read it post-haste. Thank you for watching. New videos on this channel every sometime, and consistent videos on the main channel Sleepy Crest soon. Took a long break because I started like 6 projects at once, so I hope to see you all there even if the projects aren't necessarily Type Moon related. Okay, bye. Nanaya Sleepy out.